Well, there's an international flavour to this second semi-final of the Cuchulainn Cup. Leeds just qualified to get into the final, having beaten the Irish team Emerald Warriors. This time in the blue and white, it's the Portuguese side, DH and Libera, and they're up against the French side, Les Coqs Sportifs. And it's the Portuguese side who are straight away on the attack. Oh, they've dropped the ball at the crucial moment, but maybe a chance here. Number 40 in and over for the try, but it's been disallowed. Referee has blown it up for previous infringement, and it's going to be a scrum to the French side.
Yeah, we just saw the attacking intent from this team there at the very beginning of the game, and I think it was number 29 Israel who actually made the initial break, and he got just a couple of meters from the line, but unfortunately the offload just went a bit forward.
Well, so many countries represented in this festival of rugby in DCU this weekend. We've already seen an English side get into the final. Will it be France or Portugal against them? Looks like an uncontested scrum there.
Yeah, I think the teams have an option of choosing uncontested or contested scrums before the game. So
France, we could call them France and Portugal, but hey, let's stick to the proper names. Les Coqs Sportifs and Les Coqs Festifs for the French side in black, and DH and Libera, the Portuguese side, in blue. Referee has blown up for a scrum to DH and Libera for a knock-on. Well, Portugal is not a country that we would normally associate with rugby. It's quite unusual to see a team from there at this festival of rugby.
It's fantastic to see so many different teams represented here, all for the love of the game, and no, it's absolutely fantastic.
Nice little jinking run there from the number 13, Manuela. Fabrizio taken down in the tackle. A lot of stoppages in this opening couple of minutes. We're going to have a line out, the first of the game.
But it's all been DH and Libera here in the opening 2.5 minutes of this game. Some really good runs, some really good passing, so be interesting to see if they can keep this up throughout the 40 minutes.
And of course the wind very much in their favour in the first half. They probably need to get a lead before half time. It'll be quite a challenge playing into that stiff breeze in the second half. Oh, lovely leap there from the number 32 for the French side. They've got possession here. DH and Libera really penning them back. Oh, that was a high challenge. Referee quick to blow the whistle. And a warning for the Portuguese number 46, Daniela, for that high challenge. If he does it again, I'm pretty sure he will get a yellow card.
Yeah, and it was a very strong carry from the Les Coqs Festifs hooker there, Token. He seems like a very big lad, so it'll be interesting to see if they just try and get the ball into his hands a lot. He made a very powerful carry there before succumbing to a high tackle.
So following the penalty, the line out to the French side, Les Coqs Festifs. Well, both these sides have got this far, semi-final of the Cuchulainn Cup, so they've shown some good form in this festival of rugby over Friday and Saturday, and now here we are Sunday morning, penultimate stage of the competition. Both sides will be desperate to play Leeds in the final, and it's a penalty to Les Coqs Sportifs, which they take quickly, keeping the ball in hand against this strong breeze. Not a bad tactic. And another penalty. A lot of infringements from the Portuguese team.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see now if the referee will be keeping track of these throughout the game, as we saw a dramatic yellow card at the end of our last match.
Not the best of kicks, and then the knock on by the Portuguese player, but it's worked out well for the French side. They're going to get a scrum all the way from practically on their own goal line, and here they are in a good attacking position now. I think this certainly is their first attacking scrum of the game. 20 minutes aside in this Cuchulainn Cup semi-final. Alex picking it up and going. Keeping it tight, Les Coqs Sportifs. I keep saying sportif, it's festif. They don't get sponsorship from that big clothes manufacturing company. Good tackle from the number 34, Umberto, but the Coq Festif were bursting on, but look, excellent counter-attack here from DHL Liberia, and pace from the number 8, away he goes. Terry all the way, nobody's going to catch him. He should have gone under the posts, he could have. That's a wonderful try from DH and Liberia to give them the lead with the wind in this first half. It's DH and Liberia 5, Les Coqs Festifs 0.
So he definitely deserves a breather after that one, because he pretty much ran the length of the field. Fantastic effort. Fair play to DH and Liberia, because they identified just the quick turnover ball and they spread it wide, saw that there was some space and some big men out in the wing there.
I think one of the Les Coqs Festifs players might have pulled a hamstring as he tried to get back, but a magnificent try by Terry. One of the best we've seen this weekend. He must have run, what, 80 metres to get that. So the conversion to follow. We don't have a number 44 in our team list, so we can't tell you who put that ball over the crossbar, but that's a wonderful conversion to make it 7-0.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, because we've seen so many conversion attempts throughout the weekend, and you know, it is quite difficult to get them over, so that was absolutely fantastic, especially considering it was about halfway between the touchline and the posts.
Well, a bit of a setback for the French side, Les Coqs Festifs. But playing into this wind, a massive disadvantage. So it's DH and Liberia to receive possession from the kickoff. Well caught by Umberto. Oh, pity, that was a bad pass, and down it goes. Knock on, scrum to Les Coqs Festifs. Well, we saw a fantastic first semi-final. Leeds getting the better of the Emerald Warriors, second 15, with a dramatic late penalty kick, winning by 8 points to 5. Little kick into the space. That went backwards. The referee, though, giving a knock on. Advantage to Les Coqs Festifs, but they've got possession. He'll blow it back now for the scrum to the French side.
Yeah, it was just the number 19 there for DH and Liberia, Gonzalo. He just wasn't able to hold on to the ball, and he knocked it forward. So it's a really good opportunity here for Les Coqs Festifs to get a try on the board and to hit back from that early disappointment.
Certainly looks like Les Coqs Festifs have the advantage up front in terms of the size of the pack, but with these uncontested scrums, they can't really use that. Bursting forward, the number 6, Alex. Driving into the fringes. This is good work. Very close, but knocked into touch. Good defence from DH and Libera. And they'll get the line out, but so close to their own line.
I suppose the only advantage to those uncontested scrums is if you really back your backs, because you're going to get clean ball no matter what. So if you have a little few moves kind of in the back pocket, you know, and you can utilise them to the best of your ability, I suppose whatever team can do that, the better is going to come out on top.
Halfway through this first half, very good line out from DH and Libera. The kick away, sailing on the wind, right back into the Les Coqs Festif half. That's really good play from Joe. Gathering the loose ball. And the whistle's gone again here. Joe went to ground. Now what's he going to decide on?
Looks to be an injury here.
He was very quick to blow up the play there, the referee, when Joe went to ground. So attention needed for the Les Coqs Festif player. Seems to be in some pain. Certainly if you... Well, let's have a look at this. This was the position from which Joe picked up the ball, went on this long run, and then he just twisted. I think he twisted his knee as he came down there.
That looks like a sore one, all right. Hopefully he'll be able to get back on his feet.
His leg just turned rather awkwardly, and there's a lot of people out there giving him some help. Well, no doubt there will be a lot of added time for this injury. All of the Les Coqs Sportif players, or Les Coqs Festif players, are applauding Joe as he gets to his feet, thank goodness. Rolling substitutes allowed in this format of the game, 20 minutes aside. So it'll be play to resume with an uncontested scrum. And the put in from the French team by their scrum half, Mathieu. Driving down the short side. 7-0 down. Keeping it in the pack most of the time, playing into this stiff breeze. A lot of power in this rolling maul. And then they use it. Very good tackle that time by Teddy for DH and Libera. Ball is loose, and it's a turnover for the Portuguese side. They certainly look like they've got some very tricky runners. The scrum half disrupted there. That was good defensive work by Les Coqs Festif.
Yeah, just a nice example of counter-rucking there in that game. That we saw in the previous game, I should say, and we just saw it again there in that instance. So putting the pressure on the scrum half there, and the ball went forward.
So the scrum to Les Coqs Festif. 7-0 down. Pick up and drive down the short side, very close to the touchline, but he stayed in. It's been turned over by DH and Libera. the hooker Antonio. Quick hands. Good possession this for DH and Libera. Referee has given a penalty. Did you see what that was for, Sean?
No, I didn't. There must have been something here on the near side. I did notice something in the breakdown there. Actually, it looked like the Le Coq Festif player had his hands on the ball when he was on the ground at the ruck, so the referee could have been playing an advantage for that one.
So the kick driven down the side for a line out to DH and Libera, who have the lead from that marvellous try by Terry. Stam to throw it in, the hooker. Referee's not happy, he's going to have this taken again. Stam throws it in, lovely gather at the front. Terry hitting it at pace, but he couldn't hang on. And this time the scrum will go to Le Coq Festif for that knock-on.
Would have been interesting there if he was able to hold on to that ball. We saw the pace that he showed in the build-up, or in his pretty much solo effort for that first try. So he's definitely a danger man for DH and Libera. So unfortunate situation there to knock it on, but a little let off there for the French side.
I wonder if the uncontested scrums might be because there's been some injuries to these sides in the run-up to this semi-final, and they don't have the requisite number of props and hookers, etc.
Definitely, yeah, because it's a safety issue at the end of the day. Like, if you don't have the players with you with their required experience to go in there, it's just going to be dangerous. So you can't allow it.
There was a knock-on there by Le Coq Festif, so a scrum this time to DH and Libera. Portugal playing from left to right, France playing from right to left in this breezy day at the Union Cup weekend, the Festival of Rugby. We're at the semi-final stage of the Cuchulainn Cup, and it's DH and Libera with that lead given to them by that magnificent try from Terry, and here he is, offloading it outside to Gonzalo, who managed to secure possession. DH and Libera love to run with the ball, that's for sure. They're more of a loose playing team. Le Coq Festif, more of a powerhouse side with big men up front. Contrast in styles, but it's DH and Libera who are doing the better here. With the breeze, away goes the number 10. Really good into the 22. Chance to advance on their 7-0 lead at the moment. DH and Libera driving in the ruck. Have they got possession? Yes, they do. Ball is dropped and the penalty is given, and with the wind, a chance here for DH and Libera to maybe extend their lead with a penalty kick.
That'll be huge if they can extend their lead here as we approach maybe about 7 or 8 minutes now until half-time.
Well, obviously they don't have a kicker, but they've gone for the line and they're over and they've got the try. Good decision from the Portuguese side. Second try of the match to them. 12-0 now the scoreline with the conversion to come. And a really important moment in this game.
Really strong carry for the big man there, and even just showed really great dexterity just to keep that ball under his arm, and he was able to extend it out and to touch it down when he was under tremendous pressure.
So here is the chance with the breeze, although it is going across the pitch, not fully behind the kicker, but it's certainly helping rather than hindering. And this could make it 14-0 approaching half-time. Though the French side, Les Coqs Festifs, will be hoping to maybe mount a comeback with the wind in the second half. Well, the wind's so strong, the ball won't even stay on the tee. He got a really good kick for the first conversion.
We also have a little toddler trying to get onto the pitch, maybe to hold the ball for the out half here. Thankfully his mother got him back out.
Umberto is the one who's putting his hand in the line of duty. And here comes the kick, beautifully struck. Looking for the flags, no, not raised. It was wide of the posts, but that's a substantial lead for DH and Libera as we approach half time. 12-0. Of course, there will be time added on for that lengthy injury for Joe, or to Joe. And now the whistle goes for half time, and it's the Portuguese side, DH and Libera, who have the 2-try advantage in this Cú Chulainn Cup semi-final. Half time here, DH and Libera 12, Les Coqs Festifs 0. So it's Jonathan to kick off for Les Coqs Festifs, who find themselves 12 points in arrears at the start of this second half, but with the aid of a stiff breeze that certainly should have be a factor in this second half. These two sides looking to secure a place in the Cú Chulainn Cup semi-final, as it will be against Leeds later today. And again, it's a really good handling by DH and Libera as they burst away. when they keep the ball in hand and pass it quickly, they look very dangerous. That's certainly their strength. Some very good skills. Number 7 there, Constantino, taken to ground and then holding on, so the penalty will go to Les Coqs Festifs. Get on with it really quickly, trying to catch DH and Libera out. Bit of a blind pass that, but they have secured possession. Big 33, Fadi trying to power his way through. Great tackling by DH and Libera, and they've managed to wriggle it away. Oh, wonderful work this by the number 20 Fabrizio. Well, that's really good counter-attacking rugby by the Portuguese side. Pedro was the one who eventually gave away the knock-on, and it's going to be a scrum to the French side, but look where they're starting from, well inside their own 22.
Yeah, it was a great effort there from Fabrizio. He put in an absolutely massive hit here just on our sideline, just in front of our commentary position, and we could hear the noise of the impact, and then he had the ability to rip the ball at the same time as he was making the tackle to break into the 22.
So Les Coqs Festifs under pressure, 12 points down. Need to make something happen soon. That's a good kick away. Cross to cover is Gonzalo, but it's out of play for the line out to DH and Libera. Well, the pace of this match not up to the same kind of tempo that we saw between Leeds and the Emerald Warriors. You'd have to think that Leeds would be the favourite when it comes to the final against whichever of these sides get through.
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself. Leeds just have that little bit more structure about them, and they just seem to be, I don't know, a little bit more experienced as well. They probably play at a higher level back in England than whoever's going to win this game anyway in their respective countries. So I think Leeds could be the favourite no matter which team they put in. But what I like about these two teams at least is that there's some really talented individuals. Like we saw Terry make that score that try in the first half, just incredible pace. So it'll be interesting to see the two different stylistic matchups in the final.
And even with these two sides, there is a big contrast in styles. The French team more powerful without maybe the same flair that the Portuguese side have. That was a high challenge, but the referee lets it go. Now what can Les Coqs Festifs do? Need to get on the scoreboard. That came off the number 14, Marouane, but it went backwards. They have got the penalty though, the French team. And with the wind at their backs, they really do need to take advantage of this.
Yeah, it's a very good opportunity here, so they'll be aiming to get it as close to the try line as possible.
Jonathan with the penalty kick. Oh, he didn't find touch. That's a big mistake. Well caught by Gonzalo. And here's Terry, who scored from this position in the first half. Can he do it again? Oh, good pass out, and great hands that time from the number 6, Proga. Out of play it goes for a line out to Les Coqs Festifs. That was great counter-attacking rugby again from DH and Libera.
Just shows you how dangerous they are when they get the ball in open space. They got those speedsters, you know, we saw Terry there, and even number 6, Praka, he was has a bit of pace about him, but unfortunately he was just put into touch there on the far side.
So the line out coming up. Nicely gathered, really well played. JP, I think it was, who gathered that in for Les Coqs Festifs, and they're trying to drive the maul here. It's been held up, referee telling them to play it, and they've done it really well. Third phase possession for Les Coqs Festifs. Still they drive on. Slow ball, but they have got possession. This is about the 5th phase. More good work up front from the French side, but they've lost it here, or have they? No, offside. That's going to be a penalty. So maybe something at the end of this for the French team, and now the referee, I think, is taking it forward another 10 because of something that was said.
As we've seen in the other games throughout this competition, obviously fair play and respect is a big factor in this competition over the weekend. So the referees are definitely clamping down on any little back chat like that, as we just saw there.
Jonathan with the kick to the side. There wasn't anybody really defending that touchline from DH and Libera, so real good opportunity this for Les Coqs Festifs to strike back. Line out inside the 22.
Yeah, the French side definitely have the wind in their sails at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get some points on the board here.
Line out's going to be taken short and knocked backwards rather clumsily, but they have got possession. Umberto burrowing in there for DH and Libera, trying to prevent Les Coqs Festifs from getting any momentum here. Oh, pity, bad pass. The big forward couldn't catch the ball, and that's going to give possession back to the Portuguese side.
Yeah, it's just disappointing after all the hard work that the French side, the Coqs Festifs, put into the last couple of minutes to work their way all the way up to this end of the pitch, and just for a poor pass there on the shoelaces of the big forward there, and you can't blame him for not collecting that one.
Yeah, that was Toka who couldn't catch the ball, but you don't expect a man who probably weighs something close to 100 kilos to pick the ball up from his bootstraps.
No, you certainly don't.
And now the Portuguese doing what they love to do, but Terry misses the ball that time. Picked up nicely by Gonzalo, but he's got the penalty. Referee not happy with that tackle by the number 7 man.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because I thought there was actually a knock-on just a couple of seconds before the penalty was given away. So
poor kick to touch. Jonathan for the French side, and here they come again. Fadi, big forward with lots of power. Toka taken to ground. French team don't seem to have too much in the backs, that's why they keep it up front. Great power from Alex driving in. And now the kick ahead, but Umberto is there. Oh, beautiful skill. Umberto through the challenges, has the pace to take it into the half and well away from their danger area, which is just what they need at this stage. Great recycling of the ball there, good tight passing. They really are a skillful team when it comes to the passing, and now a great chance, and it looks like they're going to get the 3rd try. Oh, that's brilliant work by Fabrizio under the posts. Surely the clincher for DH and Libera with 3/4 of this match gone. A 3rd try for them to make it 17 points to 0.
Yeah, they've just been so clinical throughout this game. You know, they're actually, the French side were dominating possession throughout the second half, and you know, once they get a sniff, they spread the ball wide, and they just had the speedsters in the back line, like Fabrizio in this instance, who's just going to put on the afterburners and he's going to get over.
Oh, that's glory indeed for DH and Libera, who surely feel now that they're on the cusp of the Cú Chulainn Cup final that will be played later today against Leeds, and this conversion to follow. Over the sticks it goes, and it is a 19 points to 0 lead for the Portuguese side. Who would have thought it, eh? Portuguese team about to get into the final of a rugby tournament, but this is such an international game these days.
No, it's great to see, and they have a lot of talent throughout their squad, and we're seeing a mixture of big guys, but definitely a lot of pace and skill in the back line as well.
So 2 magnificent tries. The first one from Terry, the third try from Fabrizio. Both lengthy runs at the end of really skillful pieces of play by DH and Libera. And even with the wind at their backs, the French side have been unable to find a way back into this game. Just over 8 minutes to go. That looked like a high challenge, but great power from Constantino taking it into contact. And DH and Libera with beautiful skills across the back line. Lecoq Festifs Marouane taken to ground under pressure, and the referee blows it up.
We've just seen there, even Terry, he just has it all in his game at the moment. Like, he did really well to get over that ball at the ruck and just paint a really good picture to the referee to try and win that penalty, and he did that.
So just what DH and Libera would want, playing into the stiff breeze, the clock ticking, and they have a penalty inside the Lecoq Festif half. And the little scrum half waiting for the setup here for this uncontested scrum. And don't be surprised if we see DH and Libera spinning this one along the back line. Here they go through the challenges. The tackling of the French side not the best, and here comes Terry again. Umberto on his outside, taken to ground I think by Sylvain, but a great attacking platform this for DH and Libera. Another score will surely clinch it. They've got a penalty if they don't get through to the line. The referee had already signalled an advantage.
Thiago just tried to take it quickly there, but he didn't take it from the correct mark. So, but yeah, very quick thinking here, and looks like they might do it again with another quick tap penalty.
The number 7 signalling that maybe they'll take a scrum because they know they'll get possession from that. Constantino.
And we just saw from the uncontested scrum here on the near side what that back line can do. They had some lovely little movement there, some decoy runners, and then they spread it wide where they got the pacey guys out in the wing, and now all of a sudden we're 5 metres away from the French try line. So I think we might see the ball coming out towards the backs again.
Even in these tricky conditions, the handling of the Portuguese players has been excellent.
Yeah, it's been superb.
Umberto going on the blind side, but they go to the open instead. Quick hands again. Terry out. Oh, this time knocked to ground. That was the commentator's curse, I think. First time we've seen a handling error from them.
Yeah, and it was the 2 try scorers for the Portuguese side who were involved there, but unfortunately Fabrizio just couldn't hang on to the ball.
Still in play. Possession secured for Lecoq Festif, who only seem to know one way of playing the game, and that's to barrel forward with the pack. Something very similar to the French national team, you'd have to say.
I suppose if you got those big men, you got to use them.
And the left-footed kick secures touch, but the line-out will go to DH and Libera on the 22 in the attacking end. And we've almost reached the 15th minute of this second half. 3 tries ahead, 3 scores ahead. It's looking like it's going to be Portugal's day here in the sun in DCU in this Cú Chulainn Cup semi-final. Great work in the line out, skillful play. Lovely, tricky little skip there by the number 31. Wide it goes again to Terry Umberto on the outside. Dropped that time by Praga, but quickly Portuguese side managed to keep possession. And here they come through the centre, showing that their forwards have a bit of power too. Fabrizio, and through he goes. Yes, Fabrizio in behind, his second try. More great work from DH and Libera. Jubilation all round for them as they extend the lead to 24 points to 0. This is going to be a really interesting matchup in the final when they take on Leeds, because they certainly have some great skills.
Yeah, it's just a joy to watch. You can see the ball just going through the hands. Really accurate passing as well. You know, none of the players really have to check their runs or anything like that. And you just see Brandao there, number 20, and he just gets in for the try, or Fabrizio I should say, for a second try of the game. And he made up for the last instance here where he just knocked it on the near side. So nice bit of recovery from him.
The drop goal attempt is over. The points added by Gonzalo, and that is a whopping win for DH and Libera. I think we can say that now. Even against the wind, they've looked the better side, and at 26-0 they will definitely be going through to play Leeds in this afternoon's final. Resigned look and demeanour on the French team's faces. They really haven't managed to do anything of attacking nature that might threaten DH and Libera. The Portuguese side just getting better and better, and now tossing the ball around with great abandon. Terry through the first challenge, great support, kicked ahead, and the referee blows the whistle. It's going to be a penalty, I think, for offside against DH and Libera.
But again, that was just another lovely flowing move there from DH to Libera, and they were kind of mixing it up as well. You know, there was some handoffs in there, some really nice offloads, and then a little chip through. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but no, they seem to have it all in their locker there in the backs.
2 minutes to go in pitch one here of the at the DCU Sports Complex, and it's really just a matter of playing this one out. Can there be any consolation for Le Coq Festif? Oh, brilliant steal in the line out. And once again they go to their trump card, which is just beautiful handling and running. Tossing the ball around for fun.
They're really enjoying themselves now.
Terry Umberto out wide to Praga, and in he goes, his first try. Try number 5 for DH and Libera. A comprehensive win for the Portuguese side as they have cruised through this second semi-final.
Yeah, absolutely superb. Again, just such a similar try to ones we've seen before. Attacking the ball at pace, spreading it wide. And must give some credit to number 13 there, Manuela, because he's first receiver nearly on every single occasion this ball goes wide, and it's his accurate passing which gets the back line moving. And we saw that then in the culmination of the try for Praga there.
Well, it is a beautiful game, rugby, when you see it played like this. We don't often get to see so many backs being allowed to show their skills. It's a bit of a throwback, really, to the kind of game that I would have played myself as a young man back in the 1970s.
It's all about the reckless abandon, isn't it? It's great.
So a festival of rugby illuminated by this Portuguese visiting side, and with the clock going into the red, this could be the last kick of the game. Into the wind, missed to the right of the post. The final whistle goes, and a fantastic win for DH and Libera, who celebrate in style this wonderful performance just brushing aside the challenge of Les Coqs Festif.
Yeah, but the final is going to be absolutely superb because, again, two different teams. We saw this Portuguese side who scored 31 points, 4 or 5 tries, and against the Leeds side who just looked really good defensively, and they only scored maybe 1 or 2 tries themselves. So it's going to be really interesting.
Yes, it'll be the power of Leeds up front. I wonder if the scrums will be contested. That could make a big difference in that game, but we shall see later on. For now, let's revel in the enjoyment of this Portuguese touring party, who have certainly entertained the spectators here in DCU with a 5-try salvo, a magnificent performance to give us a final score of DH and Libera cruising into the final by a score of 31-0.
No, Tom just said run on there.
Yeah, no, because I was delayed at the last one.
North Wales not.
Well, welcome back to our continuing live coverage of Day 2 of the Union Cup here in Dublin at DCU. My thanks to Stephen for looking after the first few hours of our live stream here on punditarena.com/TV. My name's Nick Heath, great to be with you. And, well, it is semi-final time in the Cup competition, and there is going to be no love lost here. This could well have been the final if it was not for a fairly sterling effort put up by the French side from Toulouse yesterday against the hosts, the Emerald Warriors. Warriors did come out on top, but in losing out on the 4-try bonus point, it meant that they ended up finishing 4th out of the other teams that finished top of their pools in terms of getting to a league structure. And so this is first against 4th as a semi-final. So all to play for. Perhaps it may be deemed a bit of a shame that this game is taking place at this stage of the competition rather than the grand final, but those are the way these things work. Can't change the rules, and that Toulouse side was certainly fairly formidable yesterday. Brilliant game that was to round off our coverage of Day 1. But the King's Cross Steelers are playing from left to right in the green and white hoops, and the Emerald Warriors are playing from right to left. Steelers then with the ball. Looking to try and get first advantage. There was serious looks on the faces of the boys as they warmed up, ready to get on this morning, as now Okamura comes forward with the ball, looking to come down the short side again.
It's like both teams are trying to feel each other out with early kicks, trying to put some pressure on.
Yeah, that one's gone 22 metres. That's the voice of Jono Elvin, who is with us once again. How are you, Jono?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm alright, thank you. Good evening last night?
Yeah, I bumped into you actually, it was nice, thanks for a drink, I think I owe you one.
No problem at all. It was nice to be out.
You started at 11 today, you must have been lying.
Having a little boogie. Well, you know, old man these days.
Oh, you're playing the old card.
Got to take the time.
Well caught there by Eamon. Chuck it back up. Ooh, nice tackle from Dublin.
Yeah, just got caught there. The Warriors will be feeling a real sense of frustration after that result yesterday, and well, just the smallest knock on from Jonah Weiss.
Unlike Gus to pass there in midfield, we.
Is that what caught him out?
I don't think anyone was expecting Gus to pass that.
Hashtag try with pride. Be great to hear from you. If you are watching, jump onto social media, get on Twitter, drop us a message, let us know who it is you're looking to support. Vincent Kabongo is just the man being told to get into his position at the back.
Number 8.
He is.
Quite a weapon for him today with his carries.
Well, there he goes.
As you see it now.
Yeah, goes through one. Second tackle was good enough.
First little go for a ball Dublin have had, so it'll be interesting to see how Steelers defend against this. I think Dublin will be looking to play quite direct, and Steelers managed to turn it over there.
Yeah, well, they get the penalty. First man in was in a decent position.
Great work at the break down there by Jack Fossey.
King's Cross Steelers, the first gay rugby team established 1995 in Central Station in King's Cross, hence the name. A few of those who initially set it up, fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers, so that's how that became part of the name. And the rest is history. Emerald Warriors are the hosts this year. Emerald Cup in its 8th year, started in Montpellier in 2005. The likes of Copenhagen, London, Amsterdam, Bristol, Brussels and Madrid have all hosted, and we will find out this evening where it will be held next time around.
We could see history here today, Nick, if Dublin managed to beat the Steelers.
Well, that's certainly what they're gunning for. Steelers have been 6-time winners the last 6 consecutive tournaments. Jono might not back this sentiment, but it might be nice to see a different name on the trophy.
Oh, hey, I'm all up for change. Change is good, right? Just not today, please.
Steelers looking to settle on it. Come away again.
Seems like a fairly nervy start by both teams, just going through their systems. And
yeah, Kevin Morgan's trying to keep the tempo high.
got big Pez on the ball here, making some yards.
Yeah, it was a decent run.
Like
Good line as well.
At the start of the game of chess at the moment.
Just been knocked on though. Kabongo again with the break.
He looks dangerous.
Little goose step into the tackle.
Oh, going down the short side.
Yeah, it was the shortest of short sides on that occasion, wasn't it? And call came in. Murphy looking to try and get the advance on, but now first tackle's missed, so the Warriors will use that opportunity to take a few extra yards on the halfway line.
Dave Murphy's on the ball here.
Haven't managed to make too many yards yet, but now they do put it in the hands.
Gary, getting over a gain line. Someone's lost a head guard there, it looks like, on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. Long looping pass, but Camargo straightens and then gets the ball away.
Just spoke that forward there, it was unlucky, he was looking to shift it on.
Yeah, support lines on the outside were good.
There was options there. About 5 minutes into the game, and it's really just been played between the two 22s. Neither team's had a visit to the opposing team's 22 yet. It shows how close the game's probably going to be. So Dublin have a slight edge in the scrum, but Steelers have managed to retain possession. Then Casper's gone for a rumble.
The Warriors looking to try and counteract that, but the Steelers opt to get the ball away before they get the chance.
We have big Gus Bus on the ball here, making yards.
Yeah, Gus Fraser. Quite the sight when he's coming towards you with a head of speed.
Not someone that you look forward to tackling, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
If you go high, you will get bounced, as we've seen in the tournament.
Now then, there's a nice hole. And they managed to get through that nicely.
Looked like it might have been spilt forward there, but the refs wave play on.
Eamon Yates making some good yards through that midfield, but he's down, and I think they're asking to
Steelers, they're coming off their feet, they've been penalised.
just pause the game momentarily. Eamon Yates is not feeling too clever by the looks of it.
Got physio coming on. Jim Bowden there with Steelers, long-time physio. Very good guy for the club.
Well, support staff at every level are key, but particularly at amateur level, keep the running repairs going.
Especially at a tournament like this where you've played 120 minutes yesterday, some players, and you end up spending a lot of time in that physio tent. He's got his work cut out for a couple of days, let's put it that way.
Yeah, certainly has.
He's earning his corn.
Well, the sun continues to shine in Dublin. There were quite a few pink faces in the bar last night, I think, from everybody who'd been expecting a pretty rainy day. The bursts of sunshine caught most people out, it's fair to say. Me included.
It caught me out too.
For goodness, the chap rooming in the room opposite me had some moisturiser, or half of my face might have fallen off.
I didn't know that was going for a minute there, Nick.
So we have the other semi-final taking place on pitch 2 currently. That one being fought out by the King's Cross Steelers second team against the Manchester Village Spartans. Building up to the final, which is at 20 past 4. And we should, in the course of the next hour or two, be graced with the presence of none other than international referee Nigel Owens, who is going to take charge of that final at 4:20. So, are we going to see either one of these sides managing to take first blood?
Nice line out there, straight off the top.
Yeah, simply and accurately operated. And Tasker with the big hit.
Breakdowns are being hotly contested at the moment.
They are indeed, and
Good tackle there from now, Kamora.
midfield is also an area that's proving to be pretty feisty.
Steelers got turnover there. Josh Birch on the ball here, the Steelers captain. Looking to get some go forward ball. Could be numbers if they go left. Penalty there.
It's another penalty. And they're immediately pointing to the corner here. They had a very strong wind across the field, or down the field I should say. It would be effectively to the back of the Steelers yesterday. It's not quite as strong this morning, but they will still take the opportunity.
Just watching them in warm-up over practicing some line-outs with a catch and drive, so it'll be interesting to see if they want to go for a rumble here, try and test out the Dublin defence.
You'd imagine that is option number one. 7 metres out they are now. This the best opportunity. Just saw an Australian moon.
No comment. Here we go, it's going forward. Can they keep it on?
Steelers piling the men in.
We're within 5. Still moving forward. You've got Gus looking for a ball here. Have they brought that down legally?
Splitting it round to the left. Referee is having a little look. Oh, it's been knocked on.
So lost forward there.
In the process of scoring.
So reprieve for Dublin there.
Well, they'll be frustrated at having spurned that opportunity.
The Steelers coach asking if it was a knock-on. Waiting to see a replay of that. Did look like a knock-on from where we were.
Well, I think from it's difficult to see with the amount of bodies that were around the ball.
You can often tell by the players' reactions as well. None of the Steelers really celebrated that, which is often a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah. Now then, the Steelers are trying to put all sorts of pressure through this. It's gone backwards from the Warriors, and they've done their best to try and clear that.
Sam Judd on the ball there, looking for a hole. So got smothered there by Dublin.
He did, but he did relatively well to get that place back. The Steelers have had to chuck numbers in there to make sure they can secure it. Referee makes sure he's out of the way as
You don't want to get caught in that.
Kevin Morgan looks for the option and finds Birch.
They're going back on the short side there. Seeing a gap. Casper Swanston on the ball here.
Referee making sure the players release. Here come the Steelers again into midfield. Now a little bit of the offload game. Oh, it's a massive shot.
Big hit coming in there.
In midfield.
Dublin going downtown there with a kick.
Big aerial kick. Jonah Weiss is underneath it, but slightly misjudged it. Warriors are trying to follow up, but it came off a player and into the man in front of him. So they've given away 3 yards in terms of the penalty there to the Emerald Warriors, and that will please the home side.
Simon Jones does not look happy there with John Riley. Ball was held up there in the wind. It was hard to judge, and he got caught out. Time for cool heads. Don't want to see Steelers losing their heads here.
Well, obviously the Steelers are used to playing in the regular leagues, in the National 1 with or National 3, sorry, with
London 3.
London 3. That's the one. I'll get there eventually. In Essex 1, and that is a fantastic hit. He's felt that. Oh, he's been winded. Shot to the sternum.
He's a trooper, Phil. He'll carry on. Just wakes him up. We've got the King's Cross Steelers 2s playing Manchester Spartans on pitch 2, and we're looking to get a score update at some point. See the winner of both of these games will play each other in the final.
Yeah. Well, there could be the potential of an all-Steelers final, but certainly the Spartans will have a say on that.
I think Dublin might have something to say about that too.
Yeah,
Nick.
we are still scoreless here on pitch 1 in our live stream semi-final here. So Warriors, we've now got a second ball on the pitch, which is not helping affairs.
Be interested to see if Dublin play off the top here again. Looking to use the pace of Dave Matthews at 10.
Well, they've gone with Phil Purcell now to bring it down. They've been doing a fair amount of additional training in the lead up to the Union Cup, such as the little bit of added pressure that comes with being the host, but this is working out brilliantly. Super run. Warren Sweeney, skipper, finding room in those outside channels. This is the best that the Warriors have looked all game. Purcell
looking for a quick hands, he's got the offload away. Is there space out wide?
Aaron Kelly, they've opted to put boot to ball there, and it was well gathered.
Well gathered by Chris Norman there. Great play.
And where's he off to? Just inside the 22.
Steelers clear their lines. Simon Jones there kicking downfield.
Yeah, you could hear them saying pressure on 10, but he's not managed to find touch, so Sweeney again.
Interesting kick there. To shape it into the corner. It's kicked. Got into touch.
Oh, it's run away beautifully. That will work. Very well. Down from the Steelers, but not straight, says the referee.
Decent attacking position for Dublin again here.
Yeah, well, he's checking with them what option they want to take, and they've chosen the scrum.
Seems like a wise decision, given that they've I think they've had the advantage on Steelers in the scrum so far, anyway.
Over the course of the day, well, we have the Anne Louise Gilligan Bowl final at 12:15. We've got an under-13 exhibition game at 5 to 1 and 1, the Challenger Cup final.
Turned over there by Steelers. Jinxed it with the scrum.
Absolutely. 2:35, the Cuchulainn Cup final, the women's final at 3:45, and then the cup final at 4:20. That's the way the day is going to pan out.
Intelligent kick there by Simon Jones. Still a tense affair with neither team quite able to get over the line.
Absolutely. They are 20-minute halves for those of you who are unaware, and we will go on the tournament hooter, which will likely be going in the next couple of minutes in terms of the first half. Neither team able to score. Steelers win it. Line-out wasn't straight from the Warriors. Referee happy to play on after the Steelers nick possession. Birch straightens, looks to take them on.
Decent
straight into Kabongo.
Steelers got to remember to stay on their feet. Ref's been hot on there, penalising that.
Way through Okamera and then Jonah Weiss.
Tackle's there, he needs to release him now and roll away, which he's done so. Good work.
Away from Morgan.
Gus Fraser on the ball, making yards.
Fraser again, and there's a penalty advantage here. Now surely Steelers can
Hands
use it.
go wide, they should score.
They need to straighten and let the ball do the work here, but
he's still going.
Conspiring not to quite get it right on the first time of asking. Now they go. Big hit in midfield.
Perry
Needed to be.
Looks on left. If they go left, they should score.
Oh, man running around the outside. Didn't know that that's where it was going. Penalty advantage being played. We will come back.
Be interesting to see if they take the option to kick up posts here. I think it's in front of the sticks he's given the penalty. You feel in a close game like this, 3 points could
well,
could have a big impact.
The coaching team are calling for the tee, and they have decided they'll take the points
on the stroke of half time as well.
You can hear the hooter there. So in a game of fine margins, how critical could this be?
Dublin will have a wind in the second half in their favour.
They will.
So you wonder whether Steelers have left a few points out there.
That will be the question, certainly. But Sam Judd is going to step up now. Hope that he can put the Steelers on the board as we head into the break.
I feel like they missed out on a try there, really.
So the kick was good. Steelers get themselves onto the board. I'm sorry, I got that one slightly wrong. The refs, it didn't actually get over. So, well, 0-0 it stands at half-time in this first semi-final. You could not fit a cigarette paper between these two. Second half to come.
Was that?
So second half ready to get resumed here on pitch 1 of the Union Cup in Dublin at DCU. We can report news from the other semi-final taking place between the Manchester Village Spartans and the King's Cross Steelers 2s, and at half-time the Spartans up by 12 points to 7, so it's certainly showing that the quality of our 4 semi-finalists is such that these are very tight affairs. And well, we could yet see an all-Steelers final. We could see the Steelers out entirely at the semi-final stage. At the minute, we just don't know. Too tight to call.
Let's not tempt fate, please, Nick.
It's the voice of John O'Elgin, who is with us. One of the King's Cross Steelers players not taking part today.
John Riley on the ball there, gets an early touch in the second half. Simon Jones clearing the lines again, kicking into a wind, so it'll probably get held up a bit.
Actually done very well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a decent touch finder up, decent.
You can just see by that blue flag opposite the windows, just picked up a little bit for this second half.
I think the touch judge is indicating that it was carried over the 22 and then kicked out on the full, but nope, they are going from where it was kicked.
The referee was happy enough, I think.
So it's fine. Dublin will probably go off the top here to use their big number 8 to crush it up from the midfield. But
Ended up being stolen by the Steelers. I think Casper Swanston was the man who came down with it.
Yeah, he got up well there. You feel the longer this game stays 0-0, the first score is going to be key. It could decide the game.
Well, what an opportunity the Steelers had. Okamara doing really well to make some yards around the corner. We saw Sam Judd with a chance to put 3 points on the board right at the end of that first half, but just pushed it wide.
The Steelers may try and go through the gears here, see if they can up their game in the second half.
Swanston, that was a good low drive from Graham Farmer.
Oh, good tackle there.
Tasker was chopped in half. Oh, now it's a little bit loose for Morgan. He's going to need a bit of support, but Steelers are going to get the penalty as the Emerald Warriors go off their feet.
They look like they've come out the blocks a bit quicker in the second half than they did in the first, the Steelers.
Yeah, perhaps just been told to up the tempo a little bit.
Coach has got the hairdryer out at half time and given them a bit of a rollicking.
Get your heads off the dance floor from last night and onto the field.
Very good kick there. About 12 metres out from the try line. It'll be interesting to see if they go for that catch and drive, which almost paid big dividends in the first half.
Yeah, just losing it forward over the line. It was only about 6 or 7 metres out in that first half, so they've got a little further to go this time. And well, the Warriors in defending that last time didn't let them come at a terrible pace, and now they've not competed. They've tried to pull out of that, but the Steelers are going to get a penalty.
Gus looking to go quick here. Tap and go, he fancies
certainly
it.
Is. He's looking to steamroll the first defender. Certainly brought him down. Now they're calling for it on the short side, as that ended up being the wrong option. Warriors deal with it well, and in fact Owen Kelly's done brilliantly. Chipped it through.
Great defence by Dublin there. And they've gone quick. The ref hasn't let them have it.
They regathered quickly. Well, in fact, I think there was a knock on there that the assistant spotted, so Owen Kelly has hoped to try and just put a gloss over that and run away with the ball, but we will come back for the scrum, and it will be the Steelers.
Great attacking platform again for the Steelers here. It'll be interesting to see who has got advantage in the scrum in the second half, as Dublin seemed to have the edge on Steelers in the first. Gus and Pez will be looking to get a push going.
Jonah Weiss is just having a bit of a chat with now Okamara as well. Ball's in for the Steelers, and it is at the back.
Piers urging them forward there, saying get the shove on.
Still wanting them to make the yards. They're getting the penalty, they're getting the try.
Casper Swanston's touchdown there for the try, and he looks pretty happy with himself.
Pretty pumped with that outcome.
Puffs out his chest and throws down the ball and says, thank you very much.
Well, it was a fair amount of time in coming, but the Steelers do eventually get the first score of the game through the try from Swanston, and that was the power of the pack all the way through.
Casper looking to add a third Union Cup title to his previous two from Madrid and Brussels. One of the more experienced players in the team. Had the pleasure of playing with him for a fair few seasons, and he normally does a good job.
And Sam Judd with a tricky effort, wide out right and into the wind.
Yeah, very hard kick. This kicking into a wind and kicking on the weaker side for him as a right footer. Big kick this. I think he's given it enough.
Yeah, just dropping short. 5 points on the board then. Steelers 5, Emerald Warriors 0.
Unconverted try though, which means that the Warriors only need to get a converted try and they will be back ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's still plenty of time.
Try or penalty for Steelers next would perhaps put an early nail in the coffin. But we are only about 5 minutes into the second half.
Come on, Steelers!
Decent take from Casper there.
Yeah, really good take. Try scorer straight back onto the ball from the restart to secure some key possession. And then Jones.
Simon spotted a hole there, put it between the two Warriors players.
Now what's the option going to be for the home side here as they come forward through Sweeney and the chip downfield, but that has gone straight out on the full.
Steelers just looking to turn the screw, it would seem. They've just up their game in the second half.
Yeah, perhaps needed a little bit more composure there, the Warriors. Take the contact, maintain a bit of possession, starve Steelers of the ball, but in wanting to try and pull something off. All they've done is hand a line out to the boys from London. Getting news that the Manchester Village Spartans have now gone 19 points to 7 up against the Steelers 2s. So they are looking to get one foot in that final and make sure it's not an all Steelers affair.
So that's a long way back now for Steelers 2s, given that the games are fairly short.
Yeah, we'll be doing our best to keep you up to date with that one. Little look, and the Steelers will now look to go quickly.
They turned it over, Dublin.
I'm not sure that was legal.
Referee may give him a warning now. There's been a fair few penalties in that area.
Yeah, I think he's just calling them for the not 10, but there was certainly, I think, a hand on the floor that brought the ball back on the Irish side. So perhaps a little lucky that it wasn't more than just the penalty, but Sam Judd is now going to stick this in the corner and hope for another catch and drive effort.
Slowly wearing the Warriors down, the Steelers, it feels.
He's nearly kicked that into that.
I think he was aiming for a
conservatory.
conservatory.
Yeah. In there reading the Sunday papers, minding your own business, and Sam Judd puts a rugby ball on your head. 10 points for the person who just tried to throw that back and threw it almost further away than it was. It's always good.
Try with pride.
Try harder. Down off the top for the Steelers. Good first phase opportunity for them, just coming around the corner.
They're looking to go back on the short side. Chris Loughton on the ball here.
Yeah, they knew that was coming, didn't they? And the question is, do the Warriors, and can they deal with it? Oh, it's just been lost forward.
Not sure what happened there. Just seemed to lose it.
Clearance kick is carried by the wind. Look at that. Stayed in field. Judd onto the ball now with a bit of open water in front of him to get going.
He's trying to find his bearings. Spotted a hole. Down the wing he goes.
Done well, up over the halfway line. Steelers with the ball. Morgan.
Nice tip off there by Pearce. To Simon. Got Loughton on the ball. Pops it to Fossey. Looking to play wide off Jonah.
It's a big hit.
Big shot coming in. Great offload by Jonah, to be fair. He's rode the hit and managed to get the pass away.
He did, rode it well. Dragging them into the touchline, but Steelers just keeping the ball back in field, and the Warriors, you can see in some of those challenges, are just showing a little bit of edge, getting a little frustrated that they're not.
Ferocious defence here by the Warriors.
Yeah.
Tackle after tackle flying. They're good shots as well.
Not getting as much ball as they would like in this second half.
Has he come through the middle there? Referee says it's okay, so they play up. No, he's playing advantage. So he's not come through the middle, he's gone off his feet in from the side. So another penalty advantage for Steelers. Pearce looking for a box kick here over the top. He's seen a hole. Hasn't quite worked out though.
Well, he knew he had a shot to nothing.
Just starting to see a bit of needle in the game. This is what you want in the semi-final. It's hotly contested. Both teams really want it here.
The referee is having some words.
Yeah, there's been a fair few penalties and they've all come from Dublin in this second half. You wonder how long before he goes to his pocket, the referee. Perhaps he's given him a team warning, so no more please. Juddy looking to put it down the touchline.
Yeah, he's drilled that one a little lower.
He's tried to keep it under the window.
Well, news from the other semi-final that The Spartans have conceded a score, 19-14, a length of the field score,
Wow.
which has brought the Steelers 2s back into it. So it's all going on.
Did not write off the Steelers 2s, it seems.
That's it.
Humdinger with a game going on over there.
Certainly
19-14.
This one is more of an arm wrestle. That one seems to be full of incident.
They're both one-score games, where one score changes it on both pitches now.
Absolutely. That's how tight these things are.
It's knockout rugby now. Who's going to blink first in his second half?
Trying to get forward momentum.
He's managed to rip it. A great play by the Dublin player.
That
really
was
quite impressive, that.
Stunning, absolutely, where you don't often see that. And they'll get the scrum. That's brilliant work from the Emerald Warriors.
Yeah, you've got to praise that. Wonderful turnover. The Steelers will be asking, how did he manage to get there? Need to be stronger when they set up, it seems.
There'll be a few of them who had their heads down there and would have come up and gone, how on earth have we not got that?
Yeah, shrug of the shoulders, it seems. Well, Steelers have had a dominant scrum in the second half, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get a bit of go forward here.
Well, the option for the Warriors is surely going to have to be to just get it away as quick as possible.
You feel well, pass it back to Dave, and he's got a big boot on him. He'll go downfield. Dave Matthews playing at 10 for Warriors.
Well, it is a big shove, and it is going to come back on the Steelers' side. Look at that.
They look offside there.
They might consider keeping it in as well, and the referee is playing that penalty advantage.
Simon's gone up there looking to get Chris Norman on the ball.
Oh,
Where's it going to break?
just unable to see due to the flag in front of our camera position there.
Come back for a penalty here. You'd assume they kick it into a corner here, or maybe they fancy a scrum. They may call a scrum and try and force a penalty.
What's going to be the call here? The judge just hovers momentarily, and I think we've got a player down for the Warriors.
Sorry, mate. Steelers here probably going to opt for a scrum, given that they've just got a penalty off the scrum.
Well, that was one thought. It looks like Sam Judd is going to stick this into the corner.
Oh, overruled there.
Oh, now, has he overdone that? No, he's judged it just right.
Keith Green, the King's Cross Steelers first team coach, shrugging his shoulders there. I think he fancied a scrum. We thought it was going to be a scrum, and they player power won, it would seem.
Well, there we go. Tight moments these. A second score to make it more than a converted try for the Warriors to come back from would be really decisive. Stop just short. Now
Big
they go again.
on the ball here.
Referee right on the spot to give the try. Steelers get the second and start their assault on the final.
They've backed up the decision to go for touch there. I'm left with egg on my face, I guess. It was a good call.
And was it Gus Fraser who scored it?
Gus Fraser going over there. Very hard to stop a man of that size from that distance.
Well, that's the sort of weapon that he is in the side. Brilliantly done by the big man. And Steelers get up to 10 with Judd going up to try and take the conversion to add to 2.
Hard kick in this wind, as we've said already. Swirling around the wind. If it goes too high, it just gets hold of the ball. We saw Eamon yesterday in the last group game miss a couple of kicks from pretty much the same spot.
Judd look to try and drill it, but that will go wide.
Got to keep it low in this wind. You've got to get your body over the ball a bit and keep it low.
Well, Well, it is getting ever closer on pitch 2.
They kicked a penalty, have they?
Well, it's now 22-19 to
Oh,
the
wow.
Spartans. They are just managing to keep their noses in front. And thanks to the team here and keeping us informed. So 5 minutes left in that one.
Looks like the Spartans have added a penalty to their 19 then.
Yeah,
Up to
absolutely.
22. Must have been another try for Steelers.
All to play for in both of these semi-finals.
Jack Fossey on the ball there.
Emerald Warriors have to score in the next minute or two. Steelers will know that just a decent bit of keep ball will do the job for them. It's
They look to be on their way to their 7th final.
well, they do indeed. They're not too worried about the manners of allowing the hosts their way through to the final here. This is competitive rugby. The Europeans LGBT inclusive tournament here in its 8th year. And
People asking for a high tackle. It looked alright to me.
the referee was not being drawn into it. There's the try scorer Fraser. Look at it, takes 3 to stop him. Now,
Piers spotted a hole there, show and go. He's putting his foot down.
we're just getting news that there may have been another try in that game on pitch 2. Who's it gone to? Well, it's the Spartans. And with the conversion, or at least with the try, that's 27-19. So that could be the game for the Spartans. We will
It's a
try and let you know when that's a final score.
fairly decisive score at that point in the game because it's brought it out to an 8-point gap, which means it's 2 scores the Steelers would need to come back into it.
Absolutely. So we could be headed for a North-South English derby in the 2019 Union Cup final here in Dublin. 4:20 is the final, refereed by Nigel Owens.
That'd be a repeat of the 2015 final in Brussels, where the Steelers first team played against the Spartans in the final and prevailed that day. I believe it was 31-0, if memory serves me correct.
I have 24-3.
My
score.
mistake, Nick.
Oh no, sorry, Madrid. Sorry, I was looking at the Brussels score.
Yeah, what was it? It was the Brussels game, 24-3. I stand corrected. Sorry, Nick.
Yes, you can be corrected. But
Are you offering to correct me? Are you?
So, minute and a half according to our clock, which is a best guess.
Steelers on the ball again here, very near the try line. They'll be looking to put a bit of gloss onto what's turned out to be a fairly good performance.
Jonah Weiss has often been given the chance to run through, but he couldn't quite make it on that occasion. Now they go with the missed pass as the Warriors get a little tighter. Is this going to be the third try that absolutely clinches it? Steelers are in, and they're into the final.
Finished there by Morgan McKinnon-Snell, our club captain.
Well, that's the icing on the cake as far as the King's Cross Steelers are concerned. They came here to defend their title, and they are going to get that opportunity in the final at 4:20.
Great hands across the pitch there. We saw Simon Jones playing at 10 with a double pump just to draw a defence in. Released it to Jack Fossey, who gave a looping pass to Gus Fraser, who then had the awareness to offload it to Peter Seiswick Gould, and finished off by Morgan McKinnon-Snell.
And Snell, fist pump on the floor. He knew the job was done.
I think the scoreline flatters the Steelers, to be honest, because for large periods of the game, especially in the first half, Dublin were really knocking on the door and looked like scoring.
Perhaps the story as far as the Warriors are concerned is they just couldn't find the keys to the door quick enough, could they?
You haven't got the keys, you can't get in, unfortunately.
Thanks for continuing that analogy in case anyone wasn't clear of it.
Play the whistle,
one's
please, ref.
Falling short. Referee says we'll continue, but there is the hooter.
Time for one last play, it seems.
It does look that way. Well, the writing's on the wall for the Warriors, but what are they going to be able to... What's going to be their option here?
They'll be looking to bow out with a try.
Well, we certainly hope so, but
Send their fans home happy.
if they can't compete for this restart, well then you know what the Steelers will do. Take it and kick it out, which is exactly what big Gus Fraser does.
Great footballing skills from Gus there.
Scorer of the second try. Steelers putting 3 on the hosts, and the unfortunate news in terms of the Emerald Warriors, who have done such a brilliant job of hosting the 2019 Union Cup, is that they are out at the semi-final stage. Huge thanks to the contributions that they have made. Of course, they do have other teams in other competitions over the course of the afternoon, so we will keep you up to date with what games are coming up a little bit later. But well, that is that as far as the Steelers are concerned. They will get the chance to defend the title, and by all accounts it will be against the Manchester Village Spartans. So Steelers finishing 15-0 up against the Emerald Warriors, and it will be a Manchester-London derby in that final, refereed by Nigel Owens at 4:20. Thanks to Jono. We might have a little chat later on.
Thanks for having me, Nick. Always a pleasure.
We'll be back with you shortly.